Okay, we are back again. In this video, we'll be drawing a Dutch hip roof. So, which is something, it's my first time doing it. I'm not really sure about it, but there's no much difference about it. So, it's just a Tuscany roof or a hip roof, but with a touch of this highlighted changes. So, the first thing we're gonna do, just like always in my previous videos that I mentioned, is to grab your pencil. Usually I use a pen, but for this video I'm using a pencil because of it's also my first time doing this. So I might be making mistakes, and then I need to rub off this pencil and then highlight the final sketch with the pen. So let's start. As you know, just like I've explained in my previous videos, that we start with where we see three sides, or maybe where we have three hangovers forming a 90-degree angle. What do I mean by this? This is 1, 2, 3, which is the three sides which I'm talking about, and then the two 90-degree angles which I'm talking about. As you can see, we have a 90-degree angle right there, exposed, meaning an L shape, meaning like an L shape, and then also on this part an L shape, right? That's where I like to start. So first of all, I'm gonna start here. Highlight, usually I make my roofs to be 95 degrees Celsius, so I just highlight right there. Then I try to connect this highlighted point to the corner of the whole overhang like this, and then also on this side 45 degrees, so meaning from the highlighted point to the corner of the overhang. There we have it. So I go to another three sides which I've just explained, similar to this one. As you can see, we have this one on the lounge area. So what we do, I do the very same thing which I did right here. So usually I start with I can say there are slopes, I can say the easiest slopes. So we have three sides also, 1, 2, 3. If you're not sure, you can also confirm an L shape, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. Then from the corner of the overhang to the highlighted point forming 45 degrees Celsius, just highlight with the pencil. Then again, there's another corner, 45 degrees to the corner of our overhang. Okay, cool. Then we look at another point or another corner with similar I can say points which I just highlighted, which is this one, 1, 2, 3, which is the double garage, right? So again, 1, 2, 3, 90-degree angle. We have a 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle here. So what we do, from this corner of the overhang, we point our point here, then we make 45 degrees, just like I have 45 degrees. Then over here again, okay, we measure again 45 degrees. That means we're gonna go here, then from the corner of our overhang to our highlighted point, 45 degrees, just like that. Then we look at another corner again. Do we have three sides here? As you can see, we have 1, 2. We don't have a three side because of this wall is extending to the back of the kitchen or the veranda of the kitchen. That is why we cannot do the very same thing that we did here, which is the forming hips, so that are going to have a ridge. So we just leave it like that. It's going to be we're gonna figure it out later. So here, the veranda of the kitchen, 1, 2, 3, 90-degree angle, just like I said. But for you to be sure, you have to repeat the very same thing that I just highlighted here. Measure and make sure that both of the angles are 90 degrees angle. It's okay, 45 here. Then we're gonna say from the overhang, highlight it here, then over again here. Okay, cool. From the corner to 45 here it is. Cool. Then from the corner to this highlighted point, just like that. Cool. Then we move here. Do we have three sides? 1, 2, 3. Yes, we have three sides, but keep in mind that these three sides are forming more, they are not exposed. In my previous videos I explained what is an exposed 90-degree angle and what is a hidden, or hidden 90-degree angles. So this is, yes, this is 1, 2, 3. We can use that, but for this video it's going to complicate our our roof. So what we use is this ones, 1 2 3, which is this three, 1 2 3, three sides are exposed, and then this 1 2 3 are more tucked in. So for this kind of roof we don't use this tucked in designs, or maybe I can say structures. We use only this 1 2 3, which is exposed, just like this one's 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So keep that in mind. So we have 1 2 3, so meaning we're gonna use this bedroom to form our 90 degree 45, to form our 45 degree angles. Then again, then go to the other side. Okay, cool. Then we have 45 again. Then from this highlighted point to the corner of the overhang. Yes. Then we move. Do we have three 90 degree sides here? We only have one, two, which is, and also we cannot use it, it's a tucked in. So it's only two sides and then it's tucked in, so we just skip this part. So moving to this part, we have a 1 2 3, which is an exposed for the 90 degree angle, so we're gonna use this one. So I start with this ones because of they make my work easier, which is a tip I would recommend for you guys. Just like that. Then here, yeah, from that point to here, 45 here. Then we just highlight it like this. Okay, cool. I think we are done. We have our hips right there, which they are all 45 degrees. So what I like to do is that after these hips, I continue with the ridges, or usually I just go to straight to the valleys. Valleys are these corners which have 90 degree. They are just an L shape, meaning this part 1 2, it's a 90 degree angle, and then it's just 1 2, it's just two sides. So what I do usually, what I would recommend for you is to measure this corner, to put this dot of the protector on the corner of the overhang, and then create the 45 degree angle. Understand? No, didn't do that correctly. Okay, 45 is this one. Then that means we just, from this part to the highlighted part, just do this, right? Okay, cool. So that's what I like to do. So for the sake of time, what I usually do is just, since I have measured these lines and then I know they are 45 degrees, and then what I just do, I just move my ruler slightly on the corners that I see to form 45 degrees angles, or valleys. Okay, yeah, valleys. So I don't really recommend this move. It's for people who really know what they are doing. But if you are still learning, I don't really recommend you do this move. I will recommend you to really highlight or measure to make sure that your lines are 45 degrees. For me, it's just an advanced move which I usually do, and then makes my work much easier. So let me just move this one, and then again your hand has to be real steady. It has to be very, very steady. In the corner of the overhang, which is going to form a valley right there, and then from here to the corner of the valley, gonna have a valley right there. And then here again, from there we're measuring using this hip, but drawing the line using this part of the rule, just like that. And then again here we're gonna have a valley. Okay, cool. And then here we're also gonna have a valley. And we're gonna measure with this one. Okay, cool. Here we're also gonna have, I think it's going to, since it's exposed, we're gonna have a hip here. 45, okay, that. And then here we're gonna have a valley since it's tucked in. since it's tucked in, we're gonna have a valley here. Okay, and then moving here, since it's tucked in, we're also gonna have a valley using this line which I used and measured, which I'm sure is 45 degrees. I just move my ruler slightly to this corner of the overhang, which is going to form a ridge. Just highlight it like that, and then moving on, I think, okay, here, highlighted. Okay, cool. So now I'm connecting the hips, which these are the hips. This is a valley, this is a hip also. So I'm connecting these hips with a ridge. I'm connecting these hips and valleys using a ridge. I'm gonna show you how. And keep in mind, the move that I'm doing, you will think that I'm drawing a normal hip roof or a normal Tuscany roof, but I'm gonna show you that at the end it's not a hip roof, it's a Dutch hip roof. So just like that, then we move from, then I just measure using this line which I just drawn before, then I'm using it. But okay, let me just use this ruler since it's a little bit thick, so it will give me it will reduce the distance I have to travel to move the ruler. So okay, cool. Make sure that your lines or your ruler is aligning straight with the lines that you have drawn or for your floor plan. So I'm just gonna move this ruler slightly to this, where this hip and hip, where they meet, forming a ridge. This ridge, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's, you see the importance of drawing the valleys and also the hips. I just know that this ridge is going to intersect with this I can say valley. It's a valley. Cool. Then from here again, we have this hip and hip. Automatically we're gonna have a ridge. How long it's going to be, I don't know, so I just draw it like that. So but I know it's going to end here because of we have a valley here which we drawn before. So here, so from here let me see. Okay, we're gonna have I'm using this hip to measure from this highlighted valley. Then we're gonna have a hip. How long will it be? I don't know. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, cool. From when we have a, see, no, this is not 45 degrees. You see the importance of measuring of using a protractor to make sure that your lines are really 45 degrees. So for this one, okay, see, it's 45 degrees. Okay, yeah, it's 45 degrees, meaning since this one is 45 degrees, that means this one is not really 45 degrees, meaning it's intersecting here, yeah, here. So let me just highlight with these dots where we're gonna have an intersection of maybe ridges, valleys, and everything. Just gonna highlight like that. So yeah, we have a valley here, we have a ridge here. So when a valley meets a ridge, automatically we're gonna have another hip. How long will our hip be? We don't know, but it's intersecting with this hip right here. So meaning it's hip and hip. We know that after that, automatically we're gonna have a ridge. Yeah. Okay. We have a 45 degrees here. This thing, no, this is not 45 degrees. You see, I'm using a pencil. It's because of such mistakes. Okay, let's do this. We have this and this. Okay, cool. We have a 45. Must have a 45. 45 here. And from here to here, we have a 45. Okay, cool. And keep in mind that we have this valley. How long will it be? We don't know. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Cool. So we have a hip and a hip. Automatically we're gonna have a ridge. So this is our ridge right here. From this point where they intersect, it's going to be a ridge intersecting with what? or firstly meet intersecting with this hip here. So when you're highlighting these hips or valleys or these lines, make sure that they are too long, so that if you draw like a hip or a ridge and then you don't know how long will it be, you'll find out that your long highlighted hips or ridges, they really help you to see which line that you're going to intersect with. So that is another tip that you have to keep in mind to make this kind of roof. So you see my line was too short that I didn't notice it was here. So I thought this one, since it was the longest, this valley is going to intersect with this hip, but it was not so because of the line was too short. Okay, so here it's kind of confusing, but let me just focus on what I can do for now. It's a little bit confusing for me, but I'll figure it out later when I'm here or when I'm done with other things. Okay, so we have a hip and a hip, just like we highlighted. Automatically we're gonna, after that, a hip and a hip. After a hip and a hip intersection, we're gonna have a ridge. How long will our ridge be? We don't know, but because of this line, that the tip that I was saying, that highlight when you're drawing lines, make sure that they are too long so that you can see what they are intersecting with first. So I can just tell that it's going to intersect with this valley that I just highlighted. Why? Because of it's too long. Right here, you have an intersection of a valley and a ridge right there, and then here a hip and a hip, meaning we're gonna have a ridge from where they intersect. How long will it be? It's gonna stop here because of this highlighted valley that we did. Okay, cool. And then from there we know that a valley and a ridge, we're gonna have a hip. How long will our hip be? We don't know, but I see here we have a hip and a hip, but it will intersect here. So let me just leave it like that. So we have a hip and a hip here. How long will our ridge be? We don't know, but we have this intersection of with this line over from a valley and then this line. So we have two valleys. Which one will come first? Is this one. Why? Because of when we draw a valley, this valley is intersecting first with this ridge, and then this one is intersecting second with this ridge. So and then it's not gonna form like two hips. I'm gonna show you how. Okay, intersection here, so meaning we have a ridge, intersection of a valley here and a ridge. Then from there it doesn't continue as a ridge, it continues as a hip because of a ridge intersected with a valley, we have a hip. So here's our hip right there, yeah, coming to this side. Then from there, keep in mind that we have a valley here, yeah, we have a valley here. And then how long our ridge will be, we don't know for now. Let's just leave it like that. Right, so we have a valley and a ridge here, valley and a ridge, so meaning we're gonna have a hip. Cool. Then how long will it be? We don't know, but remember we have a ridge and a valley here, which is this line forming a hip. So this hip and a hip is going to intersect, here. Then hip and a hip, automatically we have a valley. No, hip and a hip, we have a ridge, my mistake. Then we make our long line of a ridge, and then now we check what line does our ridge intersect with. It intersects with this valley from this bedroom. Remember the one that we drew that we didn't know where it will end? It is intersecting here. So remember we have a ridge and a valley, we have this long hip. Okay, cool. From this ridge and a hip, this ridge and a hip, we're gonna have a 45 degrees, then they're gonna intersect here. Okay, cool. Intersection of a hip and a hip. Then we have what? A ridge. Here's our ridge. So, but wait, let me just sort out this part, this veranda part first. Then we have a hip and a hip. Then we highlight right there. We're gonna have a valley like that. How long will it be? This, okay, it's going to be this one. No, it's going to be like a diamond shape. Okay, so meaning we're gonna have this valley right there, then this valley right here. So meaning it ends here. Then for this part we have a, now we have to sort out this part. We have a ridge here and a valley and a hip. Ridge, valley and a hip. Cool. Okay, so it's quite confusing for me here to sort out this part, but let me just focus on highlighting the part which I just mastered, then I'll figure out this part at the end. Okay, cool. Let me just highlight everything. Okay, we have since we know that we are forming a Dutch hip roof, so meaning we are not gonna have like a hip and a hip intersection. We're gonna have something like this. We have to form, remember we are making a top view of this Dutch roof, so meaning we have to keep in mind that we are looking at this roof at the top, from the top view perspective. So meaning, so when we have a Tuscany roof we have something like this, but when we have a Dutch roof, a Dutch hip roof, we have something like this. So meaning we have to do what? We have to also accommodate such details in our top view plan, so that someone can really see that okay, this is a Dutch hip roof. So what I do, from where there's this intersection of a hip and a hip, what I do, I just make some small adjustments of 0.5 centimeters. Are we using centimeters? Yeah, 0.5 centimeters from where this hip and hip intersects. I'm just gonna make a point, then from that point I'm gonna make a point again of a distance of 0.5 centimeters, so meaning this part right here. So meaning we're gonna have our normal hip like that, and also our normal hip using these dotted details. I'm gonna show you why I'm using those detailed dots. So forming this, then from there the ridge that we highlighted, we're just gonna drag it up until this ridge, up until this valley, my mistake. Okay, cool. We have a Dutch hip roof right there. Okay, cool. Same applies here. We have a more of a Tuscany design. Then from that point where the hip and hip intersects, we just make a dot of a distance of 0.5 centimeters right there. So meaning our hips, gonna have our hip right there and our hip right here, forming this Dutch design. Then we're gonna extend our ridge all the way to this Dutch design. Okay, cool. Remember we have this 45-degree angle of a valley highlighted like that. Okay, cool. Then we have a valley and an intersection of a ridge, meaning we're gonna have hip, remember. Then from there we have a hip, and a hip. Cool. Then from the hip and a hip, automatically we're gonna have a ridge. Stopping it here because there's a little bit of confusion here which I need to sort out. Okay, cool. Same applies here. Hip and a hip, where they intersect, just make a distance of 0.5 of a distance. Then we highlight. Then we just follow the highlighted line that we did with this point of a Dutch hip roof. And again, and from there, forming a design of a Dutch design of a hip roof. Then continuing with our ridge till it is intersecting with this valley. Okay, cool. Then from there, let me continue with this one. We have a point here, hip and hip intersection 0.5 of a Dutch design. Then we're gonna make let me see, yeah, we're gonna make dotted lines all the way to where they intersect with this previously highlighted hips. Okay, cool. And from there we have this long ridge. It's quite messy, but you will see when I wrap off everything. Keep in mind that we have a valley here, meaning our valley is going to intersect. Valley is going to intersect with this ridge. Yeah, cool. Then we have a ridge and a valley. Then from there we're gonna have a hip. Then remember we have a valley and a ridge, so then we're gonna have a hip also, hip and a hip intersection. Cool. Then from here, remember point where a hip and a hip intersects. Then we're gonna have this distance of 0.5 for our hip design. So then we're gonna form something like this. We're gonna create something like this, highlighting our hip, also highlighting our hip this side. Then we're going to extend our ridge from this point all the way to our Dutch design. Then we're gonna have this ridge intersecting with this highlighted valley from the bathroom side. Cool. And from there we're gonna have remember we have a ridge and a valley, meaning we're gonna extend it with what, a hip. Yeah, it's gonna end here. Remember here we have also a valley, but let me just continue with this. Okay, we have a hip and a hip intersection forming a ridge. How long will our ridge be? It's gonna end here where it intersects with the valley. Then from there, valley and a ridge, as we know, we're gonna have a hip. Okay, cool. Now we are moving to that problem that we are having. Now we're gonna have this ridge right there. Cool. Let me just sort out this one first again. We have this highlighted part, which is hip and hip intersection 0.5, meaning this part. So then we're gonna have our dash design there. Then we're gonna have our hip intersecting with our dash design, and then also this part, hip intersecting with our dash design. This is our dash design. You cannot see because of the dash design is straightly aligning with the wall of the kitchen. Then we're gonna do what? We're gonna extend our ridge all the way to that wall. Then this one is aligning. Okay, so right here we're gonna have a normal, you can see maybe a diamond shape, a normal hip roof. Okay, now have a valley here intersecting with that field. Okay, cool. Now the problem that we are having. Okay, cool, we have 45. Then we're gonna have this valley extending here. So I'm not really connecting them because of I really want to see what is going on. Then we having this hip. Let's just end it right there. Okay, cool. Then from here, let me just rub off. Okay, so we have to work out this hip, this ridge, this valley, and then this ridge. So what I usually do is that I just extend everything with a pencil like this. I'm extending that ridge, I'm extending this hip, and then I'm extending this valley, and then I'm extending this ridge. It's really gonna give me a guide to really see what is going on. So according to my analyzation is that meaning this ridge is going to intersect with this hip right here. Then since we have a hip and a ridge, that means we're gonna have a hip, we have a hip and a ridge, that means we're gonna have a what, a hip intersecting, connecting, that means it's going to connect this ridge and then this valley. What I mean is that from here it's going to, we're gonna have something like this, a hip which is going to connect this valley and then this ridge, making our roof completed. So yeah, it was giving me a little bit of anxiety, but my trick works for me, of course. So what we're gonna do, extend this ridge all the way to where it is intersecting with this valley. Then from there, remember we're having this ridge, it's going to intersect with this hip. Then from there automatically we're gonna have a what, a hip connecting this intersection of a hip and a ridge, connecting it with a valley and a ridge. Yeah, and just like that our roof is completed. So what is left is just for us to connect the dots, because to make the roof, to make solid lines, yeah, of this roof, so that everything can be clearly seen and then neat. Because of right now, remember the highlight, the pencil and the dotted lines, it's making everything complicated. So let me just rub off everything, the pencil, then I'm just gonna highlight everything with the pen, making it solid. Okay, cool. So just remove everything. Okay. So just highlight everything. There's no need for me to even talk. So yeah, just connect everything to make it solid. So a Dutch hip roof is more like a normal Tuscany roof, according to me, the way I see it. It's just that it has this I can say it has a touch of a gable roof, but then the gable is not from all the way from the foundation. It's from where we have the starting of the roof, where we start the roof, all the way to okay. So yeah, just like this. So I'm just connecting the dots, making everything solid right here. So it doesn't matter what kind of roof that you have, that kind of a floor plan that you have. So but what I would really recommend is that start with something small. You can maybe design the very same floor plan that I'm doing here, but maybe you can eliminate certain rules, right, for your own practice, right? So what I would say, what I would do is that maybe I would recommend that you remove maybe like a dining area, maybe, and also maybe 2 bedrooms, meaning you are only left with 1 bedroom and maybe a dining. We have a lounge area, 1 bathroom, then that double garage, then everything will be easy, because of the more I can say, the larger the floor plan, the more complicated the roof will be. Keep that in mind. And then the more expensive the roof will be. That is why you'll find out that maybe sometimes we get requests from our clients or from our potential clients telling us that I have this floor plan, and then I was thinking of doing this kind of roof, but I went to the hardware, and then they gave me this huge quotation to make this roof possible. So can you please help me with maybe another type of roof, maybe a skillion roof, a flat roof, which they are less expensive compared to, maybe I can say, a Dutch hip roof, or maybe a Tuscany roof, because I feel like those are the most expensive ones, according to my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but if you have like something which you think that is very important for me to know, please share it, and then I will consider it or look into it, then see if do I really like that. Understand? So yeah, I even forgot to walk you through this floor plan, what is going on. So we have a double garage. Okay, can I make a dash design here? But it's going to be messy. You already did the hip and a hip, so you can convert this hip and a hip into a dash roof if you want, by just extending this ridge and then forming the design that we did here. But I don't really suggest doing it here, hence maybe I skipped it. Okay, let's start here. Yeah, as I was saying, we have a double garage, one single double garage door, and then at the back of it we have it's a drive-through garage. We have one single door right there, one single car door garage, and then here we have a double door garage for 2 cars. So, and then at the back of it, here we have a dining area, and next to it, it's an open plan lounge area with a kitchen. And then going to that side, we have a bathroom right there, bathroom with a toilet for visitors and for users of the house. Maybe I can say this bedroom and this bedroom. And then we have this, I can say, medium-sized bedroom, also this bedroom. Here we have a master bedroom with an in-suite, and then this master bedroom has a front veranda. The front veranda is aligning equal to this. It's aligning equal to this veranda of the lounge area. So I don't like this part, it's quite messy, but we had to do what we had to do. Okay, cool. Highlighting also this part. Yeah, then from there I think we're done. Everything is solid. Am I missing anything? Nah, I'm not missing anything. So this is a series, right? So in the next video I'll be doing the side elevations of this roof, because of I feel like also side elevations of this roof will really help, so to really educate you guys to really know how to make elevations of this house, of this kind of a roof, with the side elevations, with the walls and everything, the pillars, the doors, the windows, the folded doors. So we'll be doing the front elevation, left elevation, back elevation, and then also the right elevation. Then if possible, I was thinking of doing a 3D, drawing a 3D of it, but it's gonna take some time, but I'll be able to do it. So meaning right now we are done with the floor plan and then the top view of the Dutch hip roof. So in the next video I'll be doing maybe the front elevation, maybe, and then also after that video the back elevation, after that video left elevation, and so on and so on. Then after I'm done with the side elevations, then I'll be doing the 3D of it. Yeah, the 3D of it. So it's gonna be a little bit tricky since it's my first time doing this, and then it's also my first time doing a Dutch hip roof on the floor plan, but it came out nice. And then there's no much difference compared to the Tuscany roof. It's just that this part I just cut it, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, especially where we have 3 sides. We use that we use those structures to make this design. Yeah, thank you very much guys, see you in the next video.